if you lose a trade in space, it doesn't count because nobody can hear your screams.
Good thing I don't lose.
Frank. We're not lost, are we?
I really don't understand why we're looking for this planet.
Frank, it's because someone told us that there's this planet out there where traders can get funded up to $200,000 in simulated trading accounts. And if you pass, you get the chance to get all your money back. It's really kind of a trader's paradise.
Traders have been searching the stars for a place like this, and it's just too good to be true.
Frank, you just gotta believe. Once you get there, they'll give you 15% off any examination with promo code A1Trading15.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it.
All right, Frank, take us out of hyperspace.
Coming out of hyperspace. Now, that's FX2.
That's it. That's FX2. The legends are true. It is as good as they say.
Wow, this is incredible. There's a big giant sign that's got a promo code at the front that says A1 Trading 15 for 15% off.
We finally made it to FX2. Get your discounted access to their trading accounts right now. Link and promo code down below in the description and in the chat right now.
Can you repeat all of that once again?
No.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another live stream. Thank you for being here. We are getting ready for another really big market moving day in terms of news, volatility. As you can probably tell, I've got my forex factory here pulled up, and we've got a lot of US red folders to kick off the day. Now, to get us started, we're going to be taking a look at some charts, and let me just ask as we kick it off here, if you guys could hit that thumbs up button on the stream and let me know what you would like to look at here as we prep for PPI numbers and, of course, retail sales. Both of these numbers, really important indicators. Yesterday, we got really good CPI numbers. We saw inflation cooling, headed in the right direction, and it was a wonderful market reaction in terms of risk sentiment. We are currently floating, guys, $17,000 on this S&P trade. This is a personal record for me in terms of a single trade. There's one trade in my history. Does anybody know what my... I've talked about it on streams and videos before, but I'll be really impressed if anybody knows my best trade ever. Feel free to guess what it was. It's not what you think. It's kind of a insane 2020 trade. That's my hint. Like a massive, insanely good trade in 2020. Anyways, let's take a look at some setups. I'm still long S&P. Nothing has changed really other than trailing my stop further into profit. For those of you guys who are familiar with my trading style, you know I like to trail stops. Has its pros and cons, and let me just dismiss the idea like, oh, I just need to start trailing my stops and I'll be able to trade like this. You have to understand, guys, I went through 3 months of drawdowns, losses, small losses, small wins, break-even trades to finally find this move. So let me be very clear. Trailing stops are not the holy grail. Nothing really truly is, but I am still holding on to my S&P trade. And today, again, we are at another decision point for the market as we near what is potentially going to be a little bit of resistance for the market to get over. Take a look left if you're watching the S&P 500 as well with me. Many of you guys inside of the VIP group I know are riding this trend with me. It's been a monster mover for us inside of the Discord. And just a heads up, if you're not inside of the Discord, that is where I share all of my trading signals. Frank, myself, and Ivan, of course, we share what we're doing, breakdowns on trades we're looking at. If that's something you're interested in, you can definitely sign up on our website. By the way, there is a VIP sale going on right now. Let me just do this really quick. We don't have anybody in the office to answer messages right now, so I'm just going to give you some information about it. If you're somebody who's interested in joining the VIP, here's the link to this. You can head over to a1trading.com/VIP if you want to sign up. Again, no nonsense. I show real brokerage accounts. When you see me take trades, I'm trading on my own personal trading capital. So yeah, I think, the reason I point that out is that there's a lot of people out there who kind of, they sell services, they offer stuff, but they'll never show you putting their own risk on the table. and that is not me. I put my trades in the public eye for scrutiny and for praise all the time. And I'm very used to it. I've been doing it for a number of years now. Obviously, it's a little bit easier when trades like this are going on, but they're not all the time. And, last month, my comment section was abysmal because I was long the NASDAQ and the NASDAQ plummeted. And there I was looking like a fool. So again, just a little bit of transparency there. But if you'd like to join our group, I'd highly recommend it. If you are a serious trader, a1trading.com/VIP, you can sign up there. And if you use the code, here it is, guys, YTVIP. If you use that code, you will get 40% off of that membership. It's our Black Friday sale. So just a heads up there. Guys, we've got PPI numbers coming out here in just about 7.5 minutes away. Should be an interesting numbers, or an interesting set of numbers to look at. We've got PPI, core PPI, producer price index is what we're looking at here. We have the core retail sales number as well, producer price index headline, and retail sales headline. Now, why does this matter so much? Well, I'll tell you why it matters so much. Retail sales will get us an indication of how the consumer is feeling, and the producer price index is another measurement of inflation. It looks further up the supply chain at the producers. Now, how is that going to impact the trade? Well, yesterday we saw the dollar fall out of the sky, and it was a wonderful thing to behold. Wonderful. I'm working on my my speech and my vocabulary, guys. Bear with me. My goal is someday, who knows, maybe to be like an anchor on my own live stream or something like that. I'm kidding. But anyways, dollar index fell out of the sky yesterday, and it was a beautiful breakout to the downside. And what we saw here is we saw a close that was outside of this key level of support. Honestly, it was really awesome to see because the dollar index has just been this upward pressure that's been holding the market by the throat. It's been the problem, right? The dollar index made itself very clear yesterday that it in fact was the problem, right? There were speculations about what the real thing holding the indices down, the whole thing, what has been holding down the euro and the pound and S&P 500, what's been holding it down? Well, yesterday it became very evident to the market that it was the dollar. The dollar came down hard because, ready? Yields. Yields came down hard. What are you talking about, Nick? What the heck is a yield? Bonds, guys. If you're a currency trader, just a heads up, if you trade any USD pairs, you by proxy are somewhat of a bond trader as well, because bonds and their yield have such an immense impact on what the dollar does, especially in the last year or so, where it's just been front and center. Bond yields very, very much matter. I didn't know. Did anybody just realize that they became a bond trader? If you trade forex, if you trade currencies, you may not have even realized by proxy, you're kind of a bond trader too, because yields have such an impact. Look at this. Visualize this. Here's the 2-year. Here's the dollar. See that? US 2-year, dollar. Is it perfect? No, but it's pretty dang close, and it's meaningfully correlated. Okay. So anyways, I didn't even check to see if anybody got my my best trade ever. I'm gonna say it in a second. Joseph, you're close. You're close. Here's a hint. Joseph was very close with my best trade ever. We're almost there. Let's see. Anybody? So I asked the audience what my best trade ever was, if anybody knew. I've talked about it in my videos, but it's been a long time since I really talked about it. The hint is Joseph was close. Netflix. It's not Netflix, but it's, let's see if anybody gets it. What stock? It's a stock. I had one stock purchase that I held for like a year and a half, and it just went straight up. Boom. Tesla. I bought about $5,000 worth of Tesla, and it rocketed up to like $70,000 worth. It's to this day, it is my best trade. It's a little bit disappointing because it's like, here I am, I trade every single day, indices and stuff. Now in 2020, I was doing some stock trading, which was a little bit out of my usual, specialty, but, I'm getting off topic today, guys. I apologize for everybody who wants to look at stuff. Tesla, yeah, it was a monster mover. Now, to be fair with stocks, I've also had stock picks that went horribly, horribly wrong. So, I'm talking about the winner here. But generally speaking, where I deploy absolutely most of my money, it's in things like indices, gold trading. That is where I'm most comfortable. Anyways, look at this. Speaking of gold, guys, look at this. Gold jumping here and finding what seems to be a new bottom. We've broken out of support. And I got to say, guys, as this gold trend starts, this is exactly what the doctor ordered. Yesterday, we discussed the idea of breaks and retests on the gold market, right? We saw this low form, broke out, kind of really brief retest, launched higher, now have breaking out again. Question is, if we get a pullback, I think that could be a nice trend continuation trade. You drop it down, give it over to the intraday traders, right? A pullback into this zone could be very interesting for continuation plays. So I like gold long. Again, you'll find me pretty consistently basing most of my analysis on the US dollar, right? So most of my analysis starts with the dollar, where I think we've had a clear break to the downside. And again, we've got PPI numbers coming out. Let me not forget, guys, we've got just a few moments to go here, about 2 minutes. Before we get another round of US data. This is going to confirm or deny this idea that we've got on the US dollar. Now, it's not as pivotal as I think yesterday's CPI. CPI really told the story. It was a wonderful drop for the dollar that we had been waiting for. Today, we're going to get either the icing on the cake to that story in this data, or we're going to get a little bit of thorn in the side to that story. And again, that's why there's 800 of you guys hanging out with me. By the way, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new. We do these every day. We prep you guys. We talk market setups. I show you guys my live positions. And speaking of which, as we react to the news, I'll let you watch my live P&L just for the heck of it. I'm going to put, we're going to do something weird. We're going to do 3 charts. Today, I'm going to put SPY so we can drop, we can watch my position either drop or pop here. Now, give me 1 second. Actually, you know what? I need to, I'm going to do it some way. I'm going to do it differently. Let's do this. This way we can watch S&P on the left. We're only going to go 2 today. We're going to keep it really simple. You guys know, I like the dollar. The dollar's where I base all of my analysis for starters. Like, it's what I trade the most. Oh my gosh, what is going on with all my overlapping zones? Now, what I've got here, guys, on the right-hand side is the US dollar currency index. Whether you trade gold, currency pairs, etc., the dollar will be very meaningful to you. Because if you're long gold, you probably want this to drop. If you're short gold, you probably want this to pop. If you're somebody who's trading indices with me, yeah, we want this to... We just don't want it to fall apart too much. Otherwise, if it does, I will trail out for profit. And for those of you guys who are members in our signals group, my stop loss has already been shared yesterday. We have not moved it. Still at the same spot, trailing my stop up to this point. And as long as we stay above that point, hold this general area, we're going to stay long. Here comes the PPI numbers, breaking news now. All right. PPI should be hitting the floor any second now. All right, and there goes the dollar down further. Initially popping lower here, 104 printing. Of course, that is going to be, like I said, probably bullish for gold. Let's take a quick look at gold here. So gold, yep, jumping up to 1974 as we speak. S&P 500 not moving too much, but we're going to take a look in just a second at the number to take a look at that. There's the S&P trade still hanging in there, doing just fine. Again, that would probably suggest perhaps retail sales look fine. Let's take a look. So again, going to see if we're right about that. PPI and retail sales pending here in just a moment. All right, PPI came in. Oh my goodness, PPI down. What is that number? Okay, this confirms, more than confirms, the cooling inflation number yesterday. That is a wonderfully low print. Retail sales better than expected. This is another perfect round of data, I think. Hold on. Core retail sales. Okay, core retail sales better than expected. Retail sales headline better than expected. PPI better than expected. Now, yes, lower than expected, but that's good in terms of the inflation story. We want that number to be low. If you're talking about risk assets, if you're someone who's bullish on, stocks like myself, or if you are looking at gold, this would probably also help it out. Core PPI also cooler than expected. Okay, that is generally speaking a pretty dang good report. Now you can see the stock market not making too much of a difference. Gold is coming back down. Dollar is kind of normalizing. Here's your 30-minute chart view. Switch it over to the hourly chart. And again, interesting reaction so far. It's been a little bit mixed. Not a huge spike one way or another, guys, and that is worth noting. Yes, these are some volatile minute candles, but this is the 1 minute chart. On a CPI day yesterday, you saw this thing just completely engulf the entire screen. You're not seeing that today. So you're seeing a little bit of a reaction. But again, let's digest these numbers for a second. What this is telling us here is you've got retail sales coming in better than expected. The consumer perhaps hanging in there a little bit better. Good for stocks and risk sentiment in general, right? So not necessarily great for gold, right? Economic growth is not necessarily good for gold because gold sometimes will do really well when markets are fearful about the economy slowing down too much. So we didn't get quite that. So gold perhaps seeing a little bit of not favorable numbers there, but good for stocks because of course companies will do better when the retail sales numbers, when the consumer is hanging in there, right? So Empire State Manufacturing, the final one to talk about, stronger than expected. Empire State Manufacturing is, of course, indicates improving or worsening conditions on economic health related to businesses. So again, we're getting overall some decent economic numbers, which would surprisingly, it might be a little confusing at first, but that would generally be on the more bearish side for gold to have strong strong consumer, strong economic figures. So we're seeing a little bit of pullback in gold. Still, I think doesn't change the overall direction for gold, in my opinion. So this actually might produce a nice pullback to consider, in my opinion. This might give you a little bit of a brief pullback, but I think the bigger story is still inflation is cooling. That dollar is going to likely, in my opinion, see further downside in the coming weeks. And that could lend to a nice, this might be a nice short-term pullback before gold rallies higher. Now, of course, as always with these opinions, guys, these are opinions. I am not a market wizard. I'm not a market god. I don't know what the markets are going to do. I am doing best guesswork as any trader will do, right? Trading is not about knowing with certainties. It's about weighing probabilities and managing risk appropriately. Okay, so we're still long S&P. That's unchanged. We haven't seen too much volatility there. In terms of gold, looking for possible pullbacks. That could be an interesting thing to watch out for here today. Let's go full screen now, guys. We'll take a quick look here and see what we can do on the front. So we are looking at this really quick. So gold, S&P still staying strong unless price basically breaks underneath this structure. That's going to be my trail out point with that side of things. Guys, I do also want to say real quick, let's do a poll on Telegram. I'm going to pull that up so that we can do that. Actually, I think James just joined the stream here. James, if you want to put together a poll for us, that would be awesome. I'd love to just get some action in the Telegram going here. By the way, are you guys, if you're in the Telegram already, let's get a Telegram train going. We've been doing these train things recently. Don't ask why. It doesn't make any sense. Sometimes people get mad at us for not always being 100% serious. And I'm like, if you want 100% serious, turn on like CNN or Fox or something. Like, this is YouTube, We're trying to have a little bit of fun too. Telegram chain, if you're somebody in the Telegram, drop it in here. And also, Chandler, if you don't mind just dropping the link to the Telegram for people who are not. This is a heads up. We're about to do some voting in the Telegram. It's a really fun way to get everybody's opinion on something. So we're going to be doing some voting in the Telegram. It's totally free to join. We share ideas each day, analysis, stream updates, stuff like that. So if you're not in the Telegram, click this link really quick. It just got dropped in the chat. And yeah, that would be awesome. I think also, let me make sure. Do we have, what is today? Today is Wednesday. Do we have anybody coming on the stream, Chandler? I'm blanking on that. I think we do. Just not sure at what time. What is PPI? Producer Price Index. It shows us what on the supply line inflation is looking like. Not today. Okay. No, maybe Frank. Okay. Well, in that case, what we'll do is we'll let James prep us some polls in the Telegram. And like I said, if you're not in there, we just dropped the link in the chat. So join the Telegram. It is free to do so. And yeah. Okay. So let's keep going. I want to take a look at the dollar update here. Again, 4-hour chart remains relatively unchanged, a little bit of a blip to the upside, but nothing nearly as volatile as we saw yesterday with CPI, just showing the importance here of the CPI statistic compared to producer price index and retail sales. Still meaningful data, don't get me wrong. But again, I think if you're watching the dollar index here today, if you're somebody who, in my opinion, if I'm, looking for trades, for me, it's like, okay, yesterday was a huge monumental move and a real big shift in kind of the risk sentiment paradigm in the markets right now. People were so concerned that interest rates were going to keep going up. And now suddenly we get cooling inflation numbers. We get the jobs market hanging in there. You get the consumer doing just all right. Company earnings looking fine. I mean, risk sentiment is looking pretty dang good compared to maybe where it was a couple months ago. So in my opinion, that lends towards more dollar bearishness. So if you get a price pullback, in my opinion, I think there's possibly some nice resistance at 105. You take a look left, you've got previous support here. If price pulls back, that could be really interesting to watch out for. Also, I think I just heard a poll get launched on Telegram. So here we go, guys. We've got our poll. Let me bring this up. And again, if you're not in our Telegram channel, we just dropped the link. We'll drop it one more time if you don't mind, Chandler. For people who would like to join the free Telegram to cast your vote, today's poll is, and by the way, you should join it anyways. We put out analysis each day. I mean, this is some of Frank's chart breakdowns. If you want in-depth breakdowns, totally 100% free, come join us in the Telegram. James put out this poll. He says, do you take a break from trading around the holidays? And I'd love to get you guys' opinion. Again, drop your vote in the Telegram. We've already got 13 votes. So do you take a break from trading around the holidays? Yes, I want to focus on the holidays. No, the grind never stops. I don't look at charts as much during the holiday season, but I still trade. I am going to say, my guess is most people are going to say this, and that is where I also fall. Okay, I'm incorrect about that. Some people just grind right on through. On Christmas morning, they wake up and there's a peaceful, Christmas vibe in the air, and they just whip open those charts and they start trading. And they say, Santa Claus is coming to town. That's how they start their trading day on December 25th. Anyways, just kidding. But markets aren't even open, by the way. If you're new to trading, this is your first year Christmas, then welcome. It's good to have you here for the Christmas holiday. It is probably one of the most boring times in the trading world because right around Christmas, everybody's doing their holiday thing. Christmas through New Year's is like a really quiet time in the market. Will we still be streaming and doing stuff? Yeah, sure we will. But we'll probably slow down, probably take a little bit of a break compared to this month, which is just super active. We've still got lots to do this month. But again, cast your vote. We love doing these votes, and we appreciate you guys who are in the Telegram for sharing with us. Again, back to the topic here. Let's stay on focus here. Dollar index, if it pulls back, the 50% retracement looks really interesting in my personal opinion. And we'll keep tabs on that. I think that if you're watching the dollar index and you might be saying, well, this thing is oversold, you have to ask yourself, why? Why is this oversold? All of the fundamental conditions were what caused this thing to drop like a rock. So if you say like, no, I think it's going to just completely rip higher. Ask yourself why. Fundamentally, where is that going to make sense? Now, can it change and become that way? Absolutely. Like I'm not saying a dollar rally is impossible, but if you're just kind of crossing your arms and saying, and stomping your feet and saying, no, it has to go back up. Listen, the market just got strong jobs numbers. It got cooling inflation. It got more cooling inflation today, right? All of the indicators are showing that the rate hike stuff might likely be done. And if that changes, sure, the dollar will rally higher. But how are we going to know? You kind of have to be reactive. In my opinion, just getting super bullish dollar right now is just purely trying to be a predictive counter trend trader, both on the technical and fundamental level. So for me, I think the path of least resistance is sure, maybe the big move has made its way, but perhaps patience and pullbacks are your friend. That would be my personal opinion on that. What are your thoughts on taking the flip of the candle in NAS? Simon, about NASDAQ? NASDAQ is going to be the same. It's going to sound the exact same to the dollar index concept I just talked about, but flipped in reverse. The dollar index, I'm saying, wait for pullbacks and potentially be bearish, in my opinion. Well, NASDAQ, opposite. It's run really, really hot. It's probably due for some pullback. I would short it, in my opinion, but a pullback could be an appropriate course of action, in my opinion. I keep saying in my opinion because I don't want somebody who's watching the stream who is, not willing to put any work on this stuff. I am not here to be an ATM or a signal service, because here's the thing, right? I get it wrong. I'm not always right in the markets, and new traders sometimes overestimate somebody they see on YouTube as this like guru who knows what the market's going to do. That's not me, and that's not anybody else. Nobody knows with certainty what the market. Think about how many variables go into moving price. So many things. And so as a trader, you're really being an educated guesser, right? You take in a lot of data, take into a lot of things into account, and you generate bullish or bearish signals like our software does. Now, I will say this. There are so many factors that go into the markets and why they go up or down. It is, in my opinion, in this day and age, it's imperative that you have data on your side and not just base everything based on purely technical charts. In my opinion, that is incredibly difficult to do. So many traders, they do not look at things like what the smart money is doing. Like, for example, we did a full breakdown yesterday. If you missed it, here's a quick rundown. We looked at the commitment of traders data, which shows us what institutional money is buying or selling. It's a really, really important indicator. And I want to show you this because if you're somebody who's watched the stream for a while, you may have seen this before, but this second section of this chart is what really matters, because what we can see here is that this is the latest buys and sells based on the commitment of traders data that comes out. So if you're asking about NASDAQ and you're saying, I think it's too high and I got to short it. Well, look what big money has done in the latest filing. They bought more of it, right? Take a look, consider things before you just jump in. You got to look at what big money has been doing. If you're looking at the Australian dollar, they've been buying the Australian dollar. Take a look at the pound, same thing. USD, slight buying as well. So a little bit of caution there, but not nearly as much as perhaps like the Australian dollar or the pound, right? So if you compared these two, clearly the Australian dollar and the pound are more bullish than just the dollar. And by the way, guys, I'm looking at this far right-hand column, which summarizes the entire net shift, bullish or bearish, for institutional money, okay? So if you're looking at this on the other side, you've got like things like the Canadian dollar, the Kiwi, the SPX 500, which is a little concerning for my position. However, I'm kind of, there's some other things that I'm looking at, like seasonal data, etc. The COT data is not the only thing that I pay attention to, but it's a nice confluence factor that a lot of traders who use our software, this is like the first thing they open up in their morning. I mean, we have a lot of people who this is like their daily ritual, is to keep a tab open for the commitment of traders data so they can get an idea of what's going on. However, there's some indications on here. There's a lot of new signals being generated by the EDGEFINDER right now, and I'd love to go through a couple of these guys with you, keep you up to date. Also, let me say this. Here is something for you. Give me 1 second. I know we're short on we are short on reps in the office this morning, but I just want to let you guys know, if you're somebody who has been watching the stream for a while and you want to get access to our software, I'm going to drop the link to this in the chat for those of you guys who are interested. This is the EDGEFINDER information page. We do have trials available. If you click this link and click request trial on the page, you can actually fill out an application to get a trial of the software. We just brought that back. That is a new thing this year. Well, new thing this month. We just brought back the ability for people who are very serious. It's an application process, so it takes you 2 minutes to fill out, but we are going to be looking for serious people who'd like to try out our software. It's totally free. Jesse, thank you very much. EDGEFINDER is so necessary to help you jot stress about looking all over the place. Yeah, it is very true. It's a time saver and a confluence tool. It is currently 40% off. That's why I'm making this a big deal on the stream here today, guys. Again, 40% off right now to get access to the EDGEFINDER. And if you click that link that we just dropped, like I said, you can actually request a trial. Do lifetime VIP members get the Edge Finder? No, our Discord VIP group is a different thing than our software tools that we offer. So we do offer we're a software company primarily, and we also have a Discord group. But our primary thing that we do is we're software developers for traders. So check out our website. Again, get a free trial, click request trial, fill out the form, and we'll see if we can get you set up with an Edge Finder trial. There you go. Thank you guys for I see a couple of you guys commenting your testimonials about the Edge Finder. I do appreciate it. Let's see. Also, let's check back on our voting here. What do we say? So do you take a break from trading around the holidays? And the consensus is, so yes, 19% people take a break. 51% of people say no, they don't take a break. And 30% say, I don't look at the charts as much during the holiday season, but still trade. And I think I fall under this. I won't take nearly like as many trades because, well, just the way it works out is like the first half of December, I'll still be trading as usual. But then the second half, I still will keep tabs on it. It's, it's part of my job as, like running the show. I have to constantly be studying what's going on in the markets, but it's a lot less in terms of action because a lot of times markets quiet down a lot during that time. And if you're a momentum trader, if you trade, look for those big moves that are out there, like myself and Frank, we both are trend traders. We generally do better in environments where things are explosive and moving a lot. So here's gold, guys, giving us perhaps that pullback that we discussed earlier. The only thing kind of holding me back on the gold market is the Edge Finder's not quite giving us a reading. US 30, I want to just see. US 30 is getting a bullish reading here on the Edge Finder. So perhaps a pullback would be an interesting setup for US 30 and NAS. GBP, JPY, we'll take a look at this one. Let's see what GJ is doing. GJ, I pointed this one out. This would be an interesting one for me if we got a deeper pullback. So GJ is on the watch list as well. Let's see, CHF, JPY. Yeah, that one is going to be hard for me because that one's already just squeezing higher here as we speak, back to the highs. What a move on the yen pairs, guys. For those of you guys trading the yens, my goodness. What about Australian dollar, Japanese yen? Let's see. The Australian dollar against the Japanese yen, really interesting here. Big pop as well. I think this could be interesting if you get a pullback to like the 50% for possible bull setups. So we'll keep an eye on that. German 30, Euro CAD, Kiwi CAD, Bitcoin. What's going on with Bitcoin? Bitcoin, 36,102 right now. Let's see what else is going on. EuroCAD, NZD-CAD, EuroCAD. What's going on with EuroCAD? EuroCAD, daily chart. Actually kind of a clean technical setup. Again, kind of in limbo. This is kind of an interesting time in the markets where it's like a lot of things look good, but they've made big runs. So it gives you this like, okay, I need to wait for pullback scenario. But the cool thing is at least there's a lot of potential setups. Aussie CAD, I know one of my content creator friends, Dan Emerson, he is an Edge Finder user and he is long Aussie CAD. So congrats to him. Yeah, I do really like Aussie CAD to the long side, but for me, what it would have to be is, let's see if we can get a pop above this, like a breakout retest kind of concept, or some sort of a bigger pullback. Longs on CAD Swiss. I think I'm on the opposite side on that. I think CAD Swiss more bearish than anything. Yeah, see, this market looks to me pretty dang bearish. And you may ask why? What is so bearish about this? Well, I'm kind of bearish oil. The economy is kind of expected to slow down, so demand concerns could kind of become a thing for oil traders out there. Does that have to do with CAD Swiss? a lot, because if oil comes down and CAD Swiss, the Canadian economy, is heavily reliant on the price of crude oil in order to sell, and their economy is based around it. So weakening oil can weaken the CAD. And that's kind of the story that we're seeing right now. Fundamentally, I think that could be set to continue as economies around the world do slow down. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're going into massive recession. I'm just saying a slowdown from all the rate hikes and monetary policy tightening could be doing some work on this. Gold, here's silver. Silver popping up to 23.5 at one point here. Will be interesting to see what happens with the Russell today. We're going to get some follow through. S&P also, like I said, still in my trade. Russell will be a big one to watch here today to see if we get follow through on yesterday's volatility. We'll have to see where that goes from here. Again, guys, let me just remind you that we just launched a free way to get an EDGEFINDER trial. If you're not already trying out the EDGEFINDER, here's your plug. Here's your shout out. Head over to a1trading.com/EDGEFINDER and click request a trial. Here it is. Link is right there. Come to this page and then click this button, request a trial. It'll just ask for your contact, and then we'll reach out to you. So yeah, that is new. We just are in the process of offering trials again. They're very, very manual for us. Just the nature of our software tools. We saw basically trials are manually done by the 3 reps at A1 Trading. So if you're interested, check it out. I think that's going to probably wrap up the stream here, guys. It was a crazy busy day yesterday. We streamed for a long time, and at this point, I've done about 37 minutes here this morning. I pretty much got everything that I wanted to be said. And also, last call on that idea about getting access to the VIP or the EDGEFINDER for 40% off. If you use the code YTVIP, that is YouTube subscriber special, you'll get 40% off anything in our store. I think James has something for us. We'll go over to James, and then we'll see what he has to say in just a moment. I think he's coming in a minute. So I'll hold out until he gives me the thumbs up. Yep. It says 1 second. He's coming. But yeah, I am beat, guys. I have no coffee in me right now. And we streamed so much in the last 2 weeks. I've been on camera for way too long. It does become a little bit much. And I think I might start crying here now. I'm just kidding. I shouldn't complain. I love my job. I'm very happy to be here with you guys. You guys are amazing. The support is immense. And it's a lot more immense when trades are going well for me. I'll tell you that much. I'm just giving you guys heck. But most of you guys genuinely, the cool thing is the community that's here on YouTube is actually so positive for the most part. Sure, there are people that are, you get them anywhere on social media, but most of you guys are like incredibly positive. And I really appreciate it because again, for your own sake and for everybody, it's just better to have that mindset. If you're trying to trade, you've got to be positive. You got to have optimism because again, it gets dark for every trader out there, and you have to have that. You have to have that positivity to stay in the game, to survive the drawdown periods that are pretty much inevitable. All right, James has the news for us. We'll go to James, and then I think Ivan's going to come in for a little bit after that. So what we'll do here real quick is we'll do, James, I'll give you the floor here. I'm going to get some coffee if you don't mind, if you want to do the news for me, and then I'll let you segue and give Ivan the floor for a little bit. But I think I'm going to pass out. So I'm starting to see dark vision.
Yeah, no problem. All right. So
okay. See ya.
Yeah. All right. So I've got a few things that I want to talk about with you guys today. It's today is November 15th, and we just had some PMI numbers come in, but this is still what's ahead for today. We still have the Australian unemployment rate that is coming later on in the day. And then tomorrow, unemployment claims, and Friday we have UK retail sales. So that's what's ahead this week. But it is Wednesday. We are halfway through this week, and it's always very important to keep up with news. So here's a quick look ahead at next week. There is a lot to take a look at. Monday, we have Australian monetary policy meeting minutes. And then similar to Australia's meeting minutes on Monday, the U.S. has FOMC meeting minutes on, FOMC has meeting minutes on Tuesday, as well as Canadian CPI numbers. Wednesday, we have unemployment claims and the revised University of Michigan consumer sentiment. Those are two things to look out for. I'm surprised that meeting minutes are on Wednesday. I feel like they're usually on Thursday. But the news next week is actually a little bit mixed up because normally we see Euro Flash manufacturing and Flash service PMI numbers along with UK and USD numbers on the same day. But next week, Friday, the US Flash service and Flash manufacturing PMI numbers are going to be coming out on Friday, whereas in the Euro and the UK, they're going to be coming out on Thursday. So that's a look ahead at the important news for next week. Now, what is happening today? So I mentioned this on Monday, but today is the day that it's happening. Xi Jinping is here in the United States to meet with Joe Biden over trade talks. Now, this is 9 months after the Chinese weather balloon incident. If you don't remember, there was a weather balloon with, spy something or a camera that was floating over the U.S. that had floated over from China. The U.S. ended up shooting it down with a fighter jet, but that was that led to some low relations between U.S. and China. It was not looking very good there for a little while after that incident. That was a kind of a strange incident. But the meeting is happening in San Francisco today on Wednesday. The U.S. and China have roughly a $700 billion trading relationship, according to Gina Raimondo, who is the Commerce Secretary. And Xi told a U.S. congressional delegation last month that there were, quote, 1,000 reasons to make U.S.-China relations better and no reason to make them worse, end quote. So Xi Jinping is here in the United States in San Francisco with Joe Biden to talk trading, but not our kind of trading, not day trading. They're going to be talking about exporting and import trading. So what else is happening? The U.S. government shutdown. If you are not an American citizen, you may or may not know about this, but if you are an American citizen, you definitely know about this. There have been lots of talks about the U.S. government shutting down. Now, this can happen for lots of different reasons. Basically, if one side of the government is mad at another side of the government, they can choose to just stop showing up to work and then the whole thing shuts down. It's really great. But luckily, we have not gotten to that point yet. And Mike Johnson, who is the House Speaker, has passed a short-term funding bill. He did so on Friday. And this is in order to help prevent the government from shutting down, at least have it hold on for a little bit longer. So the short-term funding bill that he passed last Friday. This bill will keep money flowing to federal agencies, allowing them to keep their same spending budget. Joe Biden has to sign the bill and put it into effect before November 17th, which is this Friday, when the current funding expires. If Joe Biden does not sign and pass this bill, then tens of thousands of federal employees will be temporarily laid off because their agency won't receive the same funding. So therefore, if they don't have the same funding, they don't have enough money to put in all of the same stuff that they have been putting it in, again, resulting in tens of thousands of people temporarily being laid off while they sort this situation out. That would be very bad and could very, very, very much lead to a big time U.S. government shutdown where, tens of thousands of federal employees will not be working in whatever agencies they are working in. So it could be a very frustrating situation. But this temporary funding bill has been sent to Biden. It is up to him to pass it now. The bill was passed through the House with a count of 336 in favor of the bill and 95 opposed to the bill. And I believe that all 95 opposed were some disgruntled Republican congressman. So the indices are up today also, I noticed. So this is a screenshot from our market scanning software, the EDGEFINDER, which is 45% off right now, by the way. And this is a page from our market heat map. The market heat map will show you what percentage up or down all of the assets that we track in the EDGEFINDER are. And it's getting updated every 15 minutes. So you know that it has very current and up-to-date information. So I took this screenshot just a minute ago, which means that all of the U.S. indices that we track, the JP225, the S&P 500, US 30, UK 100, German 30, and the NASDAQ, I went and looked at all of the charts myself. They're all up today. So if you are long indices today, you are probably having a pretty good start to the day. But that is going to do it for me and the news. We can go ahead and bring Ivan in here because he has some important stuff that I'm sure that he wants to talk about. Hey, Ivan, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, and you?
Did I do all right with my news report, you think?
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Well, I didn't know about that she was there, but I didn't know those details. So thank you very much for enlightening me. By the way.
Yeah, well, now you know. See? All right. So I educated at least one person today about something.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
well, I'll hand the stream. I'll hand the stream over to you, Ivan. I'm sure the rest of the people watching want to see some charts, and I think Nick's grabbing some coffee, but I'm sure that he'll be back in a couple minutes. He's already been going for like 45 minutes, but he'll be back in a little bit, and yeah, I'll leave it to you. Yeah, see, that's what he
Thank
needed.
you very
He needed
much.
some coffee.
Yeah, just bad timing.
All right, Ivan. See you later.
See you. Okay, so this is as the market is adjusting yesterday. I think there is two reasons for the move at the moment, and I think that you guys have to have. Maybe I said it yesterday, but I feel like I need to say it again. There's two reasons why market will move so much as it did yesterday. Peak interest rates, and the other one is end of carry. What is end of carry trade means? End of carry trade was that because dollar was the one that was given the best rate of return, 5% or so, 5.5, 5.25, and it went better, versus the Japanese yen that you have to almost pay negative 0.1. So the interest rate difference was quite a lot, and you would get a lot of money just by buying dollar yen. And if you peak dollar interest rate, if you peak dollar interest rates, that character is going to end. Now, which other countries are you going to go to then? Then you're going to go to the next one on the list that is still increasing interest rates. And therefore, you saw that, what do you call them? Commodity pairs rose a lot yesterday. You saw Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. And I just want you guys to capture that move. What did it do? Even Australian, New Zealand, in other pairs, what was yesterday? Yesterday was a dollar bears, everything else buying. Even yen rose, but the yen pairs rose because the commodities was given more oomph. Okay. Now going forward, how has this situation ever happened before, where we have priced in interest rate peaks? Okay, maybe not interest rate peaks in the as in the sense of, but I would like to say, okay, where do we go back to? Okay, so what about June 16th, 2021, where Fed said, well, we are no longer going to buy bonds as much as we did. Okay, that was the end of that era. Okay, what about the era before that? That was when they were having interest rate at 2.75, 2.75, and they took it down to zero rarely quickly. So what happens in a situation where you have falling interest rates? Dollar falling. And this happened quite rapidly in COVID, all right? And then I can't remember the previous one, but if this is the game changer, so now, from now on, as long as CPI is lower Okay, lower than expected next time as well. Should be around 3 or less. If it hits 2 point something, even more traders are going to exit. So this is a very important. I don't know if Nick ever did this with you, but I'm going to do it with you. This is a very important day. Okay, today might be the change where the market is pricing a change in monetary policy going forward. Meaning, in December, we're not going to increase in interest rates. In January, we're not going to increase. In February and March, we're not going to increase. In May, we may start falling interest rates. Or June, for that matter, doesn't really matter when. But they're not going to rise anymore. And that's a very key, important situation. And then, if CPI comes out next time way higher than it was yesterday, then okay, fine. Then we pause it. But the market was waiting for this. I wasn't. I was wrong. So what you need to do now is you write down on your screen, like where your screen is there on a post-it note, and you just write down dollar bearish. And then you write down yen bearish. And then you write down Australian dollar bullish, euro bullish, pound bullish, Canadian bullish. And then we had over the evening yesterday. I have I can't talk today. Good. So back to reality. Yesterday I said we hit our target on Aussie yen. We have not hit on CAD yen. We hit target on euro yen. We have hit target on pound yen. We have hit target on New Zealand yen. And apparently, I didn't know that I had a trade here, but apparently I had a trade here as well. Apparently somewhere around here, from here to here. Anyways, doesn't really matter. Point being, Aussie, Euro, Pound, New Zealand has all hit monthly target, and that is roughly around 800 pips. Congratulations. Boom. Other than that, we have still a CAD yen on the books, and we still have US oil on the books. I'm still in it. I don't really care that it's falling. Nick says it's going to fall. It's probably going to fall with the lower inflation. We just made it 800 pips. Doesn't really matter, right? Cool. So Nick's chilling. Yeah, he had he needed a coffee. So the short-term funding still has to get voted by the Senate. It passed the House, so the Senate and Biden have to pass it before the day of Friday. Yeah. So that is a dollar bullish situation that you have to consider. Maybe not shorting dollar immediately, but you have to, if you do decide to short dollar, you have to be able to cater for that risk of that pullback. Because if you look at dollar, because the thing is, there was a government lockout a couple of years ago around Christmas, I think, for 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, depending. And from like 10th to 27th. And what happened was dollar strengthened, but the moment there was any possibility of a deal, dollar depriced that risk scenario. So, yes, it is. Dexter just sold all the congratulations. Are you going to take my money, Dexter? What are bears and bulls? Buyers and sellers. Buyers are, so dollar bearish means you should be looking for dollar bearishness, meaning looking together with the sellers. As long as, well, PPI as well came out quite okay today. So you're looking on dollar. They're going to trade dollars per se, but dollar pairs is Australian dollar, US dollar, Euro dollar, Pound dollar, New Zealand dollar to the upside, and then you use the CAD to the downside, and then you use Swiss to the downside. That's playing the dollar bearishness or dollar selling off. If you believe dollar is going to fall in the next couple of months and weeks. Tony Dexter, why are you selling Australian dollar? It has a target. So yeah, I wouldn't. I think this. Okay, so when it comes to Australian dollar, American dollars, and New Zealand, yes, they have peaked. Yes, they're cutting down pretty hard at the moment. But what I want to tell you, I wanna. How's that going? Okay, I was trying to do Spice Girls, but my spice went out my brain, so it only became girls instead. I see this as a buying opportunity, and if so, tomorrow on daily. Why? Because, well, market can come back down to central here if that is what the market wants to do. But I think we're going to skip today, and then we're just going to continue. Now, if market want to see coming down, okay, that is very worrisome for dollar bear. What are those boxes? It's called pivot points. It says up here. It's called wing pivots. I can give you the link to it. It's pretty funny. It's pretty interesting. It's supporting. It's future support and resistance. It has been made by my good friend Joe. So I don't know. It's a bit difficult to search for them on. Okay, of course I can't do it. Okay. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put that in the. No, I'm not going to do that. I can't put it in the trading view. I can't put it in the comment section afterwards. I'm just gonna go to another trading view, because this one doesn't allow it, because this is the app, because I'm pro. We take trading seriously. Seriously. And then Wayne's pivots. And here's the link. I don't know if I'm allowed to put it there, but yeah. If not, search for this up here. Search for that specifically, how that's been spelled. Then you can go to my YouTube channel, and then you can watch how to set it up. It is 3 setting differences that I have from the one that you currently see. Okay, cool, good. Yeah, of course. So you're welcome. Cool. Where are we? No, wrong one. Cool. Check euro dollar. Would gold be buying at 1961? Yeah. Yeah. So what the thing is, Jamie, my name is Ivan, not Ivan. That's a different guy, bro. Jamie, do you become James all of a sudden? Or do you become James Y? Okay, sorry, seriously, people. Yeah, so these are future support and resistance. In the WFP webinars we do, I do go over them. There's YouTube videos on that on my channel if you want to do that. The other part is about it. The most important part at the moment is that on the monthly, which I see as my mother, where I see mother moves happening, the major moves happening. So if I point it out to be bullish, this is a buy price, this is a buy price, and this is a target. And why is it like that? Well, I don't know. That's how our market has decided that's where we want to go. But okay. And if you go over yen pairs, if you're going to put the pivot points on any pairs, go through how does it react to monthly. For example, here, smack on, go straight down. Here, comes up. I don't know if you're going to go smack down again, but definitely something. It did not come down to the buy zone for this month. Okay, cool. Doesn't have to. But I use this for my exits of my longer term trades, or a longer term this week. Well, this time was 8 days, apparently. But yeah, makes sense, people. So cool. We can do your dollar. Your dollar is high, way above M4, way above target. But okay, let's go for price action. Price action, in my view, for us to be bullish comfortably, we have to be above. Price have to be above 107.88. Whatever catastrophic event happens throughout from then to then, so be it. Secondly, if you're going to buy it, are you going to buy a falling price, or are you going to buy the new high pullback? That is up to you. So you have 2 options. Either price coming back down to 108, give or take, that's around 50 pips, or it makes a new high, making sure, showing you that we are actually going to go higher. Secondly, if we decide to fall down, you still have it in your brain in the back of your brain that we still have lower CPI. So if this one now falls for 3 weeks, which is still a possibility, you still remember beginning of December, like, dollar bearish, even if this one falls. Because, by the way, for all intents and purposes, this was the move. That's where the money was. And the move started, if you did not catch it, it started at below 108. You had that price. Anything before that was kind of random a bit, but still, you had a legitimate ability the second a minute after the news to buy from there. So, didn't you do that? Probably not, because it's too risky. Okay, cool. That's like buying a high. Okay, cool. Now, the new effect is the new question is, if it comes back down here again, what is it going to do? Or is it going to make a higher high? You are, in my eyes, now just going to see, is the aggressive market going to continue? If it goes down to 108, it's no longer aggressive. You cannot have an aggressive entry. Then you have to have a reversal before it goes back up again. Salam alaikum. Jamie, autocorrect. Jamie. I'm going to call you James. Oh, it's autocorrect. Okay. All right. Same thing with Aussie. Is it going to come back down to the first hourly candle? Yes or no? It made a new high today. Okay. What about tomorrow? Because what you're not going to do from now on, this is aggressive. If you buy now, it's aggressive. By the way, I'm not going to give you any advice what to do. So you're going to have a defensive, you're going to have an aggressive, you're going to defensive, and you're going to have an overall market move. What do we have overall market move at the moment? We have a new high. Okay, that probably isn't a very good place to buy, generally speaking. So how does that look like? Okay, that looks like this just ranges lately. How does it look like when it peaks? Okay, like this, for example. Okay, so we have this situation. Let's say this is this current situation, and I say I'm in my brain expecting this one to come down again. Okay, so how long can that happen? Okay, so if that is, as I said, 10 days. Okay, 10 days, great. 2 weeks. When is it? When is December? 2 weeks from now. Okay, if that is the situation, you are not going to be the one that is going to hold that trade until that dies. So whatever your entry is it 55 EMA? Is it 21 EMA? Sorry. Is it higher high, higher low? Is it support and resistance? Is it trend trading? I don't really care what your entry is, and if you do decide to enter. But what you need to have done is that you have done this many times before. You have decided that if a higher high, a higher low, a higher low is a very good place to buy. And then if this one now continues on forever and ever and ever, you are not, and your plan now becomes to buy these higher lows, you're not going to chicken out. Because I'm going to sit there and wait for you. I'll be like, every day, did you do what you were supposed to be doing, what you told me to do? Because Suma today said he lost a lot of pips, missed out a lot of pips. It doesn't matter. Did you follow your plan? Yes, 10 out of 10. Good job, Suma.
What's going on, Ivan? Great tips there also.
Yeah, I'm getting fired up, ready to go.
Yeah, fair enough. I know you've been doing the webinars, leading the streams, and I thank you for coming on and relieving my my duties here for a little bit. Just a heads up, guys, if you appreciate Ivan's commentary, his coaching, he actually does this on a consistent basis within the Discord community that we offer. He has a coaching session prior to the New York session, which is a great time if you're looking for that pre-market prep almost. Ivan's in there doing coaching webinar group sessions within our Discord community. I shared some details about that earlier, but if you're not already in there, the way to join that, just head over to a1trading.com/VIP and you can sign up for that, get access to our trade alerts, get access to Ivan's coaching webinars. And he also does one-on-one coaching as well. So if you're looking for that mentorship and trying to go that next level, it is the place to be. Ivan, thank you for coming on. I know you're probably tired like I am. So thank you for being here and for helping out on the stream as always.
I just want to say, if you join the mentorship class, you have to be accustomed to a bit of screaming. It gets fired there sometimes.
That's good. That's the right type of fire that traders need to whip themselves up into shape. So yeah, there you go. If you guys are ready for a fire blazing mentorship journey, then Ivan is your guy. So Ivan, thanks for coming on. We'll give you your break. Go drink some water and do Ivan things.
Thank you very much for having me.
See ya. Yeah, guys, again, big show here today. Appreciate you all for hanging out. We had like 800 people at one point. So thank you for being part of the stream. I do also want to remind you, like I said earlier, you can get access to everything in our store right now for 40% off if you use the code YTVIP. So if that membership sounds useful to you, boom, this is it. This is the YouTube VIP. You guys who watch us on YouTube, thank you for your support. And again, everything in our store is currently 40% off. If you want software, membership group, whatever you'd like, take that code with you, apply it wherever, and there you go. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Have a wonderful rest of your trading day. We'll see you guys back on the next one.
Thanks again for flying with us on the A1 Trader. Our goal at A1 Trading is to give you the latest in market news through our daily videos and articles. Take advantage of our huge Black Friday sale, 45% off, happening all month on our best products we have to offer. A1 Trader, prepare for the return home.